Hi y'all, this is Jeremiah Best with Inlet Area Community Task Force and New York Agriculture in the Classroom. I'm the state educator for New York Agriculture in the Classroom. We have our Trout in the Classroom tank that we set up to help those who weren't able to do a trout tank this year due to the pandemic, or just give people insight on Trout in the Classroom. It is run through Trout Unlimited, which is a nonprofit organization. And they work closely with our students in schools. So you can see there's our trout. They're at the alvean stage. Lots of pictures on our Facebook and Instagram. I just want to quickly talk about how we maintain our tank. So this right here is a water conditioner. And when we first fill our tank, now we're on a well that's about 400 feet deep, so we don't have to worry about fluorides and chlorine and other things that are put in city water or town water. If you have a water treatment facility, they're going to add those added chemicals to make the water safe and potable. We have to deal with hard water here, so we have some different issues. So when you do some water changes, or you're first starting and you're on town water, you're going to want to do water conditioner as 5 milliliters for about every 10 gallons. We do have 55-gallon tanks, which is a norm for Trout in the Classroom tanks. The first thing we do is when we get our tank, we start to add our water about 2 to 3 weeks before we get our trout. We get our trout in October, November when they're eyed out, which means they've been fertilized and they're developing, and you can see their eyeballs through the egg skin. So what we do is we add our beneficial bacteria. We like to put it in our in tank, so the water comes into our filter, and there's a little box right here, and then our different filter levels are in here. So we add it here because we want that bacteria to be really established in this filter medium and sponges and other things. So we like to add it about 2 weeks before we get our eggs, so that we go ahead and get a colony started of bacteria. Then we add it right before, maybe two or 3 days before we know we're going to get our eggs, so that we've given it 2 parts of the series. Usually you want to add this for tank maintenance about every 2 weeks. You add about 40 milliliters, a little extra when you first get started. Now, when you have ammonia buildup, this is a closed system, therefore any of the wastes are going to be recycled. They go through our chiller here. You can see the outlet pump comes into our chiller, drops down, water's at 49 degrees Fahrenheit right now, back up and out into the corner. So any of their wastes or any of the food as it breaks down that's uneaten is going to break down and cause ammonia to go up. When we're teaching, teaching through the trout tank, we like to talk about the nitrification or nitrogen carbon cycles. And when you start to get ammonia, you're going to have it build. A lot of people will do big pull-offs. That's not great for your fish because you're changing things so quickly. Fish don't like that. You want slight changes. So what we'll do is we'll give a shot of this night out once we start to get about 0.5 parts per million of ammonia, and we'll again add it into our filter. Now what happens is that bacteria, just as in the plants and soil, healthy soils are going to have a ton of bacteria. So what's going to happen is this bacteria is going to start that nitrification cycle and process. So that bacteria takes in that ammonia, puts out nitrates, and then takes the nitrites, and then from nitrites to nitrogen gas. I might have mixed up the nitrites and nitrates. I always do. But that bacteria is what does it. If you look at the roots of plants, you'll see bacteria that's used to get that nitrogen into the plant. So we'll add a series of the nitrates. If we still have a high ammonia spikes, then what we'll do is we'll start to pull off 5 to 10 gallons. We take all of our water and we put it right into our garden beds. Perfect for teaching cycles with your students, but it's also a bio-fertilizer. You have all that ammonia and nitrites, but you also have that bacteria, which is so healthy for soil health. And soil health is a super important component of having great agriculture and great gardens. So we take it right out. We bury our trout too. So any of our trout that we lose, we bury it outside, and we talk about the indigenous populations using fish for fertilizers for their gardens. And it's a great way to teach social studies and science. Of course, all the math that goes along with it. So if you have questions, let us know. We'd be more than happy to do a live session with your classes. Just contact us and we'll find a time to set up a Zoom call. Again, I'm Jeremiah Best with the Inlet Area Community Task Force in Agriculture in the Classroom. And we hope that y'all have a wonderful holiday. Bye now.